हेलो एवरीवन, स्वागत है आपका हमारे लाइव स्ट्रीम में गेंशिन की अगेन। और हम वो वाला राउंड कंप्लीट करेंगे, लास्ट राउंड है आज। ओह हेलो ठंडर भाई, क्या हाल चाल भाई। सब्सक्राइब लाइक शेयर वगैरह कर देना, ठीक है, पसंद आएगी तो। ऑल राइट, सो स्टार्ट करते हैं। हाँ, तो हम यहाँ पे थे और हमें जाना था यहाँ पे, इस जगह। हम कमीशन भी नहीं किए कि हम ये कर रहे थे। कल हमने कमीशन भी नहीं किए।
It feels like something's been on your mind this entire time.
Traveler, Paimon, I finally found you.
Finally? Did something happen?
Don't you feel like there's something off about this year's Academia extravaganza? When Candace and I were at the cafe earlier, we might have caught sight of some mercs on business. Thing is, they were disguised as tourists here to shop. But no disguise can mask the stench of blood. Just from their suspicious looks, I bet they do dirty work like kidnapping or assassinations.
We eavesdropped on them for a while. Their target seems to be someone called Sachin.
Sachin? Isn't it the person who Karina mentioned during the opening
Karina
ceremony?
Sachin भाई इंडियन नेम जो है।
Apparently the sponsor behind the competition prizes.
आज भी
And
वही
the
नाम।
diadem of knowledge, but
Sounds like a rich person, all right. It makes sense now. The Eremites have been struggling to make ends meet recently, so a lot of groups have been doing private work that involves the rich.
हाँ यार, बड़े दिनों
In
बाद
their
एग्जाम
words,
चल रहे थे ना,
one
इसलिए।
gig sets you up for half a year. Just one job like this nets them enough mora to take it easy for a while.
आज भी बहुत कभी लाइव
The
स्ट्रीम करूंगा मैं।
extravaganza has brought many
कल से
tourists
स्टार्ट
to
करेंगे।
Sumeru City all at once. So it's likely that they took
आज
advantage
मैंने
of the
स्टार्ट किया
bustle to
फिर,
sneak in.
क्योंकि बहुत
Dia
दिनों
and I
बाद
wanted to
आना
directly
पड़ा
catch
एग्जाम्स की
them,
वजह से।
but
गैप नहीं थी
they were on
बिल्कुल
guard and made
छुट्टियों
some
में।
excuse to slip away.
I would have tied him up if it who's legally supposed to take care of this kind of thing. The Matra or the Core of 30?
if Sino were here, he'd definitely get involved. Why don't we head over to the Academia and tell Amatra? Thanks a million, you two.
Not at all. It was coincidence on our part as well.
Yeah, don't sweat it. The Eremites' reputation is going to get even worse if these scumbags succeed. But this is Sumeru City. Candace and I don't have as
हाँ
much
ब्रदर,
freedom to
तुम
act
बताओ
here.
क्या हाल है।
So we're leaving this in your hands.
लाइक मार दो ब्रदर,
Should you require our aid,
शेयर कर दो
come
अगर
find us at the cafe.
मेन स्टोरी पे जाना चाहता हूँ मैं,
I've
लेकिन
noticed
जा
that
नहीं पा रहा हूँ।
something's bugging you. Is it the extravaganza? Cause Paimon's starting to think that there's more than meets the eye here too. But thinking like this isn't doing anything. Let's just go find Amatra.
ओके, चलो चलो, ये चल रहा है ना। क्या हुआ? वो सेकंड फेज। भाई एकदम मस्त गया एग्जाम तो। एग्जाम का टेंशन ही नहीं है, इंटरनल्स थे वैसे तो।
Hey, isn't that the Matra we investigated Siraj with?
Both? It's been a while. Do you have any issues to report?
इंडियन नेम्स क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे, मैं समझ नहीं आ रहा है। इंडियंस ही नहीं है।
Someone's planning to kidnap Sachin. Goodness. Though I suppose it's not. The growing popularity of the extravaganza has given him quite the reputation boost as its sponsor. He's seen as one of these super rich types.
Well, since he's got a target on his back now, shouldn't you send some people to protect?
To tell you the truth, we've thought about doing just that. However, Sachin apparently prefers to spend most of his time out doing field work, and hardly ever comes back to Sumeru City. No one has been able to contact him. Our only lead is something he once said. Each time the Inter-Darshan Championship is held, I will be watching from close by to choose a suitable person to inherit my estate. Assuming he remains committed to that promise, then he must be right here in the city somewhere. I suspect that the Eremites in question must have heard about that as well, and decided to come here and try their luck.
So they shouldn't know where Sachin is either, right?
I would assume not. Don't you worry. A couple of kidnappers aren't gonna get very far in Sumeru City these days. I have my ways of forcing... All of that said, if you're interested in Sachin's story, why don't you try tracking... The sooner we ascertain his whereabouts, the quicker we can act to ensure his safety. I mean, you could task all the Matra and the whole Corps of 30 with someone's protection, but if the client doesn't show themselves, there's nothing we can do to help them.
Fair point. Guess we should start searching for him too, but where should we start?
None, I'm afraid. He's never I've heard that Alhaitham has now stepped down from his post as acting Grand Sage and is back to being the scribe again. Maybe it's worth checking to see if he knows anything.
Good idea! Okay, we'll head back to the extravaganza venue and see if we can find him.
बस टेलीपोर्ट करो और चलते रहो. कहाँ है एल्हाइतम?
Hey, Nilu! Have you seen Alhaitham?
नीलू.
Alhaitham? Why, what is it?
We're trying to track down someone and we need him to pull up some records for us.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I don't know where he went. He's always the first to leave after the competition ends, and he never tells anyone where he'll be going.
Huh. Yeah,
Let me think. To be honest, he doesn't seem very interested in the extravaganza, so he probably doesn't. To him, being a commentator is just extra work he was roped into. Do you guys know of any places he'd go after work?
पता नहीं मेरे को. टार्विन गया, घर तो जाएगा नहीं
There's
जरूर.
still one more round to go. Would he really go to a tavern in the middle of the competition?
oh, here's a thought. Maybe he just went straight home. Paimon remembers that his house isn't that far from here, so we might as well check it out.
ओह, घर पास में है क्या इसका? मुझे क्या पता भाई, मुझे पता ही नहीं. एल्हाइतम, कहाँ है तेरा घर? पेड़ के ऊपर? सीरियसली? लिटरली पेड़ के ऊपर घर है क्या इसका? ओह, ये घर है क्या एल्हाइतम का?
Let's try knocking.
Knock knock.
No answer? Maybe no one's home. Hello? Alhaitham? Are you in? We need your help with something.
Oh, it's you two?
Oh, Kave, you're home.
Come on in, I'll get the door for you.
काफे क्या कर रहा है एल्हाइतम के बारे में? पार्टी चल रही है क्या?
We didn't hear a peep when we first knocked. We thought no one was home.
Well, I can't be too careful. If someone from the academia came here looking for Alhaitham, and I opened the door for them without thinking, before long the whole city would know that I'm living here.
You're pretty conscientious about this, huh?
ओह, काफे यहाँ रहता है.
Someone comes inside looking for him while you're at home.
It's fine, as long as I stay in my own room. Anyway, why would someone just barge in here looking for him? Most people...
Fair enough. So do you know where he is at the moment?
What do you think? Who knows what he does in his free time? All that matters to me is that he's out of the house. I wouldn't call it that. He's just incapable of saying anything pleasant at all. I told him how the second round
हाँ,
went.
अच्छे से बात
I
नहीं
won the
करता.
lot draw, remember? Because of good karma, of course. My luck's on the rise. But him, being him... Ugh, you wouldn't believe what he said after I was done talking! You're always quick to remind me that you're my upperclassman, and yet you do not problem solve in the manner becoming of an upperclassman. This begs the question of why we attach prestige to seniority at all. What does he mean, manner becoming of an upperclassman? What, am I supposed to earn the title of upperclassman now? And he didn't stop there.
No.
He said, I'd encourage you to reflect on why you've ended up having to rely on luck every round. Frankly, it's incomprehensible to me how you've managed to make it to this age without
भाई लकी
acknowledging
तो
the
है.
proverbial elephant
अब
in the room
लॉटरी में
of your
लकी तो
life.
होगा.
Yeah, that does sound like something Al-Haytham would say.
I've had it with him. Every time I talk to him, it's the same way. He finds a way to infuriate me every single time. Anyway, the disdain is very much mutual between us, so I'll be moving out as soon as possible. I'm actually packing my things right now. He'll have to get used to doing his own cleaning and tidying from now on. See those perfectly hung paintings on the walls? They're coming with me too. If his life wasn't utterly devoid of artistic sensibility already, it certainly will be after today.
Wait, you're moving out already? But the competition isn't even over yet. How can you afford it?
Well, obviously I can't just yet. I'm just packing early to get ahead of the game. I've got my new place picked out already. The moment I have my hands on the prize money, I'm going to buy it and move my things right in. It'll take me 3 days tops to move out of here for good. I now know what I have to do to
अरे सॉरी
achieve
क्या
this
दिक्कत है
goal.
ब्रदर, कोई दिक्कत
No matter
नहीं.
what happens in the third round,
इतने
I
टाइम तक
will
साथ में हो
win.
उससे वही
I
बहुत
will
बड़ी बात है
emerge
भाई.
triumphant.
ये क्वेस्ट है,
You'll see.
इवेंट क्वेस्ट है कोई.
Well, we'll
अभी
be
आया है.
waiting for you. But are you sure you'll be alright?
In what way?
Layla said that she thinks you'll get caught up in internal conflict.
Meaning what exactly? Oh, don't tell me you think I have serious personality flaws too.
Oh, we didn't say that. But think about it. You say you want to win, but you also turned Faruzan down when she offered to give you her points. Plus, you took it upon yourself to help those desert foxes.
Wait, what's so unusual about all that? I gave you my reasons. I would have felt guilty otherwise. Where's the conflict in
हाँ
that?
भाई, कावे का नेचर बिल्कुल मेरे जैसा है, पता है. भाई बुरा लगता है यार. हेल्प किसी
when
का
you
हेल्प
put it
चाहिए
like
और
that.
हेल्प ना करे.
Yes, why indeed? It's a good question. I guess it's just in my nature.
हाँ, same
Plus, if
same.
I just did nothing, then there'd be no escaping the blame if
ऐसा ही है
something
मेरे
bad
साथ भी
came of it
guys.
later down the line.
But thinking like that all the time must make your life so exhausting. Not to mention that by helping out, you put yourself at risk.
It's complicated. Look, let's maybe leave this conversation for another time. What was it you needed Al-Haytham's help with, anyway? Sachin? Huh. He did actually mention a Sachin recently. I remember he brought a few documents home that day. He was thinking out loud as he looked through them, making some notes and doodling as he went. He even suggested that I should take a look, but I didn't. Give me a moment. Let me go find them.
Okay. घर तो काफी तगड़ा है भाई. भाई मैं भी ऐसे अरेंज रखता हूँ हर चीजों को.
This is the one. Here, take it.
You
With taking liberties? He's certainly okay with helping himself to my beer whenever he pleases. And anyway, he did ask me if I wanted to read his notes. I didn't see the point at the time, so he just left them on the side. He doesn't leave documents lying around unless he's okay with other people reading them. It's fine, I promise.
Cool, if you say so. Okay, let's see what he's got on Sachin.
Sachin was a wealthy family and his father, Rajput, was the renowned merchant in Sumeru. Indian, actually ये Indian ही है, कुछ Indian story है लगता है मेरे को. With many properties to his name, at the age of 9, Sachin enrolled in Vahumana and achieved excellent grades. He completed all his courses and graduated first class. His accomplishment greatly lauded by the sage. क्या चाहते हैं इसको इसको पढ़ के मैं क्या करना चाहूँगा?
That was a lot of information. Paimon's getting a headache. So, to sum up, Sachin put the academia in charge of managing his estate and went off to do research, right?
ओह,
He even said that
मुझे
if
तो
he
भाई
really
एक
liked
ऐसा घर
one of
चाहिए
his
जो भाई
possessions,
जिसमें
he
चीज़ें
would
बस
just give them a
ऑर्गेनाइज
reward,
होनी
but
चाहिए.
his entire
मुझे ऐसा ही
estate
पसंद है
as
एक्चुअली.
well.
एंड चाइल्ड घर मैंने
That
देखा
must
नहीं
be
है
worth
एक्चुअली अभी
heaps
तक,
and
क्योंकि
heaps of
वो
more.
क्वेस्ट अभी तक रुका हुआ है इस इवेंट
What?
क्वेस्ट की वजह से.
Are you serious? All of Sachin's wealth, that's more than I could spend in a lifetime, surely. Heck, if I got chosen, I'd be able to pay off all my debts, then buy a new place, and still have cash to burn. I could build another Palace of Alcazar's Array. Except this time, I'd make it 10 times. Oh, then there's that new project in Port Ormos, of course. The bridge renovation. To do it properly would take upwards of...
Hey, snap out of it! You're getting way ahead of yourself there, mister.
You're right. First, I need to focus on winning and moving out of this.
Huh?
ओके ओके.
Wait a moment. There's a loose slip of paper tucked in between these pages. Did Alhaitham write this? It looks like he was jotting ideas down as he was thinking things over. What's Sachin, dead or alive? Unknown. And diadem of knowledge. Some of this stuff is just plain incomprehensible. Is this written in some other language?
भाई ये दुनिया काफी अच्छी है भाई ठंडर भाई. ऐसी दुनिया रियल लाइफ में होनी
I
चाहिए.
recognize this script.
सबके पास एक एलिमेंटल पावर होता है, सबका
Give me a
अलग अलग.
second.
हर एक इंसान का भाई. नॉर्मल कोई नहीं होता.
Lofty ideals
मजा
may
आता.
provide no defense at all
मैजिक
against
होते भाई.
nihilism, but
आई
perhaps
हाय.
little decisions can.
कहाँ जी रहा हूँ मैं? कौन
That's
सी
a rough
दुनिया में?
translation anyway. I can't guarantee it's 100% accurate.
मतलब लिटरली क्या सोच रहा हूँ?
There's
मतलब
another
जो हो
smaller
नहीं
line
सकता
of
कभी.
text underneath. Huh. Why would he bring that up?
Wow. It's so cool that you can actually read this script.
We worked together on a project once when we were students. The title
ब्यूटीफुल
was
भी है भाई,
Decoding the
पावर्स भी
Runes
तगड़े
and
हैं यार.
Architectural
ऐसे भाई
Philosophy of
रियल
the
लाइफ में
Ruins
होनी
of
चाहिए
King
थी actually.
Deshret's civilization. I had to familiarize myself a little with this script at the time.
सही है भाई, सोचना जरूरी है ऐसा. सही है भाई, फैंटेसी में जीना चाहिए भाई. रियल लाइफ बहुत टॉक्सिक है वैसे भी. मजा नहीं आता रियल लाइफ में. लोग बहुत
Who knows?
अच्छे
The
नहीं
way
हैं.
his mind works is
सब
one of
कोई
the great
अच्छे नहीं
mysteries of
हैं.
the
कोई होते
world.
हैं कुछ अच्छे, लेकिन सब अच्छे नहीं हैं.
Enough. Well, guess we've learned all we can here.
भाई ऐसी दुनिया में मुझे पावर लेना रहता है ना, तो मैं पायरो लेता. मुझे फ्लेम बहुत पसंद है.
Yeah, you better catch those crooks. But until then, let's just head out for a stroll.
डोंट वरी, टॉक्सिक है तो क्या हुआ, तुम लोग भी तो हो अच्छे अच्छे लोग, सपोर्ट करने वाले. क्वेस्ट कंप्लीट. 30 प्राइमो मिला मेरे को. मेरे को है नहीं वैसे ये इवेंट करते तो. वेल ये बहुत अच्छा मिल रहा है यार, ये करना चाहिए मेरे को. वेट until the 7. सही है. एक्चुअली मुझे एलिमेंट्स में फायर बहुत पसंद है शुरू से ही, तो फायर.
Paimon just heard that the Matra have arrested some Irama.
इस जगह पे जाना है. ओके, यहीं पे चलते हैं पेड़ के आसपास ही, क्योंकि
Let's go to the academia and check with Ara.
सुमेरु एक अच्छा है. मुझे एक्चुअली पसंद आया ही नहीं. मेरा फेवरेट कैरेक्टर, मुझे डायलॉग पसंद आया था। पहले फर्स्ट इम्प्रेशन इज लास्ट इम्प्रेशन बोलते हैं ना, उसमें मुझे डायलॉग पसंद आया था बहुत ज़्यादा। वो पायरो में डायलॉग पसंद आया था मेरे को। वो टार्बन वाला डायलॉग है ना, टार्बन वाला डायलॉग। भाई ये चढ़ क्यों नहीं रहा है भाई इस पे? भाई अब चढ़ा यार, इतना मेहनत करने के बाद चढ़ा।
You're here. Sorry, I was just about to send someone
फ्लेम
to
वाले थोड़े
inform you.
ओपी थे मतलब
We just
फ्लेम में
finished
जो भी एजेंट्स है भाई
interrogating the
बहुत तगड़े
suspect.
तगड़े हैं।
What did you find out?
लेकिन मुझे ऐसे पसंद है।
Lots of unexpected details, let's put it that way.
मुझे
The
मतलब कि
mercs
हैवी
themselves were
वेपन,
surprisingly
वो
easy to
बहुत
catch.
भारी से वेपन,
We just had someone dress
पायरो,
up as
तो
Sachin
इसका
and they
डायलॉग
took
मुझे
the
पसंद है
bait.
क्योंकि डायलॉग का बस
But then
वो रहता है
it
ना, क्या
starts to
बोलते हैं,
get messy.
क्लेमोर था बहुत हैवी
During
वेपन।
the interrogation, we learned that they were hired by Sachin's own child.
What? Why would someone want to kidnap their own father? What's up with that?
It's anybody's guess at this point. In any event, apparently the guys we caught are just the tip of the iceberg. Most of them are still snooping around outside the city.
नया स्किन भी है
We're
क्या
diverting
कुछ?
manpower as we speak to try and round them all up.
Sure, let's go get to the bot.
ओके। एक्ट 3 परेड ऑफ प्रोमिनेंस। हाँ, परेड ऑफ प्रोमिनेंस नाम है इस इवेंट का। इस जगह पे जाना है, बिल्कुल नया जगह, कुछ भी नहीं पता है मेरे को इस जगह के बारे में। मेरे को तो फ्लेम में बेनेट एंड ओ सिंगलिंग भी ठीक है, एक्चुअली ठीक है वो सिंगलिंग भी, मुझे पावरफुल है एक्चुअली। डायलॉग के बाद मुझे ये भी पसंद आई, दया थी ना अभी जो आई थी, वो भी क्लेमोर वाली है। हाँ, उसका मुझे बहुत सही लगा, पावर वगैरह। मैंने उसका ट्रायल किया था एक्चुअली, इस पर आया था एक इवेंट। हाँ, क्यूचिंग तो वो है ना इलेक्ट्रो वाली। हाँ, दया बहुत भाई पावरफुल लगती है भाई, लॉयन वाला पावर है इसके पास शायद, जैसे दिखने में लॉयन जैसा लुक है, मतलब शेरनी है भाई। दया वही है जिससे मैं बात कर रहा था ना अभी, जो कैंडिस के साथ थी, वो है दया। ओ ये उड़ने में टाइम लगा दिया भाई, मार दिया। ओ लॉल। सही है भाई, ठंडर भाई, सही है, लगे रहो। पावरफुल एक्चुअली।
Are you sure this is the right place? Something feels off.
Boss, we got more company.
Look, we were just doing what we
क्या
were
हुआ?
paid to do. You're punishing the wrong people here. You want the real culprit? It's this guy. He hired us to kidnap Sachin.
What happened? Who beat you all up?
Wait, you mean you aren't with them?
With who? Who did this?
First there was this flying brat. Didn't bother asking any questions, just started throwing punches. After that, some guy wearing green came along and interrogated us for a bit.
I've got the confirmation
क्या
I
मतलब?
needed. This is the one who masterminded this
क्या वो
whole
तो नहीं है कहीं
plot. Jawani,
head guy,
Sachin's son. If you have any questions for him, now's your chance to ask.
wanderer.
When you're done, I'm arresting them all
एक
and
एनिमो में
taking
मुझे
them
बहुत पसंद है
back to the
एलिमेंट्स में.
academia for further interrogation.
एनिमो में मुझे सही पसंद है. एक बहुत तगड़ी एलिमेंट है एनिमो. मिक्स कर देती है सबको.
What do you think? 20 years ago, he upped and left to go and live a carefree life, not giving a second thought for my
बट
welfare.
मेरे को अपने पास कुछ चूज करना हो पायरो के साथ तो मैं चूज करूंगा इलेक्ट्रो क्योंकि वो ओवरलोड करता है बहुत भयानक.
Along with a contract saying that one day he'd pass it all on to a genius he admired. That's my inheritance. By rights. You expect me to sit back and watch it go to someone else? If he won't give me what's mine, I'll just have to take it from him. Of course! Didn't he say he would be here somewhere, watching the championship from the shadows? So, I figured I'd get some people to nab him. Then I make him change the contract. And if the academia doesn't agree to hand over the goods, I make him publicly announce that I'm his chosen genius. No, the old fart knows how to stay hidden. I'll give him that. He's probably cooped up somewhere watching all this go on and laughing to himself. I already thought he'd gone mad 20 years ago.
ओह
And who knows what a madman's truly
सही है भाई.
capable of.
वेपराइज भी सही है.
Diadem of knowledge.
मैं
You mean
मुझे
that thing
डेंड्रो भी
he
सही लगेगा.
donated
एक
to
तो
the academia?
बर्निंग इफेक्ट है ओवरलोड.
Well, I can tell you that it's very expensive. He sold a lot of assets to purchase it back in the day. Weird things started happening after he brought it home, too. For example, sometimes we'd hear a high-pitched voice coming from the storage room. Also,
भाई मैं
before
हूँ तो
donating it to the
छत्तीसगढ़ से.
academia, he
वेल
once
मैं
shut
हूँ अभी
himself in that
दिल्ली
same
में.
storeroom and researched it. Something was already...
What do you mean something wrong?
I only have a vague memory of it.
अंडर
Since I was
ग्रेजुएशन
very
कर
young
रहा
at
हूँ
the
दिल्ली में
time.
मैंने भी.
But I have the impression that he went out into the desert for research and didn't return for many years. When he finally did return, he was a changed person. He would
थैंक यू भाई
mumble
सपोर्ट करने के लिए आपका इतना
incomprehensibly and write essays
लाइक भी
day
मार
and
दो यार. आप
night.
तो एक काम करो आप शेयर ही कर दो
I
यार
asked
किसी
if I
किसी के
could see
साथ.
what he'd written
सही है.
when he chased me out of the room.
शेयर
Later,
करके तो और भी बंदे आ
he went
जाएंगे.
out
मजा आ
somewhere and
जाएगा.
took his written essays with him. When he got back, he signed his contract with the academia. Part of me wonders whether he'd already stopped being my father by that point. Perhaps the man we called Sachin was a demon from the desert who was wearing his skin.
सचिन. ये सचिन नाम मुझे बहुत अजीब लग रहा है भाई.
Time on out.
You can believe
Genshin
me
में
or not.
गेंशिन
Doesn't
में
matter to
सचिन
me.
नाम.
I told you all I know.
फिर
But if you
राजपूत
do
भी
see
था एक.
Sachin, tell him this for me. Whatever it is that he's researching out there, he'll always be garbage in my eyes.
You finished? In that case, come with us. Well, we finally caught the guy behind all this. Thanks for providing. Do you still have any lingering concerns?
Yeah, Al-Haytham's notes do mention that item.
Scribe Al-Haytham looked into this matter. Understood. Well, if you believe there to be an issue with the diadem, I'd suggest contacting the organizers and getting them to pause the competitions while we investigate.
That makes sense. Okay then, let's get back to the venue. We need...
Okay, let's go back to the venue. अब क्या करना है? Find the staff members.
Karina!
Finally
Karina.
back. Where have you been? I looked everywhere for you. The third round's already started.
We were out capturing some bad guys who wanted to kidnap Sachin. But that's not important right now. We think there might be something wrong with the Diadem of Knowledge, and we'd like to investigate it.
The diadem? That seems unlikely. The diadem of knowledge has been used in every extravaganza over the last 2 decades, always without incident. Why has this come up now?
Some new information has come to light.
This is pretty serious. Okay, here's the situation. The diadem is currently in Mount Ima Forest. We moved it there before in the third round,
Contestants have to go into Mount Deima Forest, find the diadem, bring it back, and place it on the stand. The first person to do this gets 4 points. Considering how close the scores are between our contestants, whoever wins this round is very likely to be the winner of the whole. As such, I suspect competition to be very fierce. You might not make it in time. I'll mark the diadem's location for you. Please head there immediately.
Alright, let's go!
चलो चलो चलो.
That's weird. The locator...
भाई हर चीज इतने दूर दूर पे क्यों है? मतलब लिटरली मुझे वहां तक चल के जाना पड़ेगा. समझ रहे हो? ये क्या है? पता नहीं क्या है. मैराथन हो जाएगा. इस मैराथन मारेंगे अब हम वहां तक पूरा. ठीक है. इससे ज़्यादा ऊपर नहीं जंप कर सकता मतलब मैं. वेट. एक मिनट गाइस, वेट करना थोड़ा.
Propagate! Propagate!
Oh, looks like Layla has seized the diadem. But getting to the goal won't be easy.
That guy enters the fray.
Oh भाई
Horizon's device has gone haywire.
The competition is heating up. Oh. And here's Kaveh bringing up the rear.
It's Kaveh's toolbox! Throwing the diadem to its owner.
Yes, that's right. Put the diadem in place, and you shall gain all you desire.
Who are you? I need you to get out of my head!
I am confident that you will not disappoint me.
What just happened to me?
Something's wrong.
At long last, come, Kaveh. Come to me, my child.
How do you know my name?
I am Sachin. Well, to be precise, I am but a fragment of Sachin's mind. Fate is a curious thing. Seeing you reminds me of another I once met. But you are made of sterner stuff than he, more cognizant of the trials and tribulations of this world. It is you who are worthy to inherit all that I once owned. We meet for the first time, children. But what I mean to say now is of utmost importance. So please, pay attention, and you have all performed outstandingly in this Interdashant Championship. The Academia has many rare talents among its ranks, and you are the creme of the creme. But if I were to choose a...
Me? Similar to you?
Why, yes. Both of us have the misfortune to be 28 years ago. I came to the desert and lived there for 8 full years. What do you think I saw there? Alas, endless conflict over water sources. Robbing of the things I witnessed there tormented me greatly. I wished desperately to find a way to save them.
So, did you find a way?
As a Vahumana scholar, I researched history and anthropology. But in the end, it was not possible to simply assign blame for these transgressions to any one party. For the sins are carved into humanity's very nature. Our nature begets conflict, and conflict begets destruction. This is the inexorable truth. The aim of my research was to draw lessons from history. But what I discovered was that history offers no such guidance. Things can only ever go from bad to worse. After this realization, I could no longer see the meaning in anything that I had ever learned. Consumed by an overwhelming sense of emptiness, I could no longer bear to face life. And so, I decided to bring my life to an end. But before I went through with it, a strange twist of fate led me to come into the possession of this diadem, which has the ability to preserve part of one's consciousness. Into it, I placed my experiences before requesting that the academia...
As I thought. The contract you signed with the academia wasn't... But if you'd given up hope on this world, why did you feel the need to do this?
I mentioned that I had performed a great many experiments concerning human nature. You may regard this as the very last experiment of them all. The academia has no shortage of genius talents, nurturing the brightest minds.
I see. So you desired a successor who was not only a genius, but who also understood the suffering of ordinary people. Such a person would have a clearer understanding of humanity, society, and the world.
Huh?
But did you ever consider that wealth numbs the human heart to the pain in the world? Even an idealist may be incapable of following through on your wishes after inheriting your wealth.
You are highly intelligent, yet you are not the sort of person who would understand my line of thinking. To me, this is also part of the experiment. Part of my investigation into human nature. Whether my successor suffers as a consequence of my research, or succumbs to an indulgence in pleasure-seeking, my research will have progressed. I grieve the fundamental sickness of the world. I regret the unbearable weight of its history, and I lament the research that I failed to complete. And this, Kaveh, my dear child, is why you will be of great utility to me.
You're absolutely certain that you want to give me everything you owned? For me to do with as I please?
I have faith in what I see in you. Now wear the diadem, Kaveh, and complete the journey that I could not. Will the verdict I reached cause you suffering? Or will this newfound wealth numb your heart? I look forward to your answer. All of my research materials are being stored at our...
Huh?
I've heard enough! My life's enough of a
क्या
mess
हो रहा
already.
है guys?
The last thing I need is more suffering. Keep your Mora. I don't need it. Didn't you say that you saw a lot of people in pain? Well, if that's the case, then your wealth can go to them. I guess that'll be the end of that.
Kaveh.
Are you all right? Any physical...
I'm fine. Thanks, Tainari. Don't worry about me.
Don't push yourself too hard.
Kaveh.
Kaveh may have broken the diadem, but he successfully completed the task prior to that. According to the rules, this makes him the victor of round 3. Points-wise, this also makes him the winner of the Interdarshan Championship. As the champion and Sachin's personally designated successor, Kaveh has obtained the rights to inherit the entire... For the avoidance of doubt, can you confirm that it is your intention to donate all of Sachin's wealth?
Like I said, He thought that the world is a bad place. Well then, let's use what he left behind to change it for the better. Rejecting the world will achieve nothing. He and I...
All right. As the scribe, the sages will contact you in person for details on how exactly Sachin's estate is to be used.
That sounds fine. I don't know if his research findings were right, nor would I know how to finish his research for him. But what I do know is that by ending this here, we won't be the last. There will be more championships to come. Sachin's words can only cause pain, but not anymore. No one else. We're all scholars here. I know full well that shutting down his views like this is autocratic and arrogant. Fine by. It's the least I can do. And, well, it's the only thing I can do.
Well said. What you've expressed is a sense of justice and idealism that many aspire to, but few dare follow through with. I say this despite the fact that, in my view, it's quite ridiculous. You have long been aware of what your flaws are, but your pride alone prevents you from admitting it. Nevertheless, your perspective is well suited to appearing in a victory speech. Contestant Kaveh, on behalf of the organizing committee, it is my honor to congratulate you on your victory.
What? Please. I don't need... Anyway, this isn't the time or place for debates. Keep your commentary focused on the competition, not my views.
Congratulations, Kaveh. Also, you'll need to prepare for the award ceremony.
Looks like the ceremony will be held at the main venue.
Thank you all for your excellent performance. And that brings... Finally, it gives me great pleasure to Typically at this point, we would crown our champion with the diadem as well as present... However, we have just received word that Kaveh has inherited Sachin's estate and made the decision to donate it all to charitable causes.
Sachin?
So much, Mora.
Kaveh's generosity will give many struggling families the chance to change their lives for the better. Of course, without the diadem and prize money to present, this makes the award ceremony a little more concise than expected. Would you like to say a few words?
I'm not entirely sure what I should say under these circumstances. I'm glad to have won, even though I'd say luck played a big part in that. As for why I want to give the Mora away, I don't support Sachin's views, and I don't want to take his Mora. With a lot of things in life, people need to experience them for themselves. It shouldn't be up to one person to make a judgment on. Not him, and not me either. Anyway, this isn't really the time and place for such weighty and complicated topics. So, I guess that's all. I'll leave it there, thanks very much.
Oh, Kaveh, just one moment. While this is a short and sweet award ceremony, we do still have a prize to present you with. Please take this limited edition Genius Invocation TCG card. Additionally, your champion status will be logged in your record. This means that the sages will give priority consideration to any future project proposals you submit.
All right, I'll take the card.
In that case, I declare the award ceremony over. Let's give our champion Kaveh...
I still don't really get it. The sum of Mora would have been enough for me to live in luxury for my entire...
That just means you're not strange enough to understand the way that geniuses think. Come on, we've still got the
whole... Glad that's over. I think I'm quite good at giving speeches, but this one was just so tiring.
Do you mean that you're still exhausted from the competition? Honestly, you don't look happy at all, but whatever else happened, you're the champion, you know? Don't you think you should be proud of that?
I suppose... Oh, wait. Sino said he wanted the card, didn't he? And now I have it, right here.
So you're gonna give it to him? But if it's a rare one, you ship be able to make a tidy sum of more off it.
Why would I do that? It's of no use to me whatsoever. I may as well just give it to him. Could you pass it on to him for me when you next see him?
Whoa, whoa! This is a super big deal! You should do it yourself! Come on, let's go find Sino.
Huh? But I was gonna rest for a while longer. Hey, stop pulling!
कितना लंबा स्टोरी चल रहा है गाइस, क्या ही बताऊं मैं.
I'm still thinking about the Sachin issue. What brings you here?
Well, they gave me this limited edition Genius Invocation card, and I figured you'd have more use for it than I.
But it's a limited edition. Are you sure you want to give it to me?
What else would I do with it? I have no use for it.
But it's limited edition. Kaveh, are you in trouble? You don't have to do all this. Just tell me what's wrong and I will help.
Oh, that's not what I meant at all. Yes, I have...
All right. In that case, But now that I realize that you have no concept of its value, I cannot simply take it from you. How about this? I shall buy it from you at a fair price. Namely, the price that the previous limited edition card sold for.
Oh, come on. It's just one card. How much could it really be worth?
1 million more at the very least.
Huh? How much?
1 million more?
If you feel that's too low.
1 million more for a card? But you already have a whole bunch of these, shiny ones, don't you? I saw your deck last time we played.
Not every card is this valuable, and some cards are exquisitely designed, but not rare.
Huh. Well, I guess they must pay you plenty to be General Mahamatra if you're splashing out on things like this. But really, it's fine. I'd feel bad taking Mora from a friend.
Don't feel bad. I save a lot. I can
you don't spend all your savings on your hobbies, do you? You should watch that, you know. You definitely don't want to end up borrowing money in a moment of impulsivity. Living with debt is miserable.
Sounds like you're speaking from personal experience. I guess you've been through a lot?
I don't want to talk about it.
In that case, maybe you're the one who should be listening to your advice. In any case, I, Sino, will take this precious card.
All right, if you insist. Far be it from me to refuse.
Well, this is what they call... Paimon wonders how...
I'm telling you, you can't go wrong taking advice from me on what to wear. Back in the day, my fashion style was considered cutting edge by everyone in the academia.
Really? Well, then, sure, Madame Farzan. Maybe you could pick out a few...
Farzan! Nilu! Even Dia and Candace are here! What are you all up to?
Candace and I bumped into these two while we were strolling through. Madame Farzan here is pretty friendly. When she heard that we were buying clothes, she decided to give us some help.
I don't really see anything I'm familiar with. Never mind. We can purchase some textiles and make the clothes ourselves. Let's go with the plain fabric as our base, and embroider red and pink flowers on. Oh, and some green leaves.
Oh, wait a sec. You sure that's the latest style? That sounds a lot like what the older folks back home would wear.
Don't worry. This style is a timeless classic.
No thanks. This is actually sounding pretty weird.
Wait. Madame Farzan's right. That style is a classic and used to be mainstream fashion. But if you don't mind, how about I pick some clothes out for everyone? It's not often that we get to meet up, especially since Candace rarely makes it to Sumeru City. Also, I know a few places where I can get a great bargain.
Sure. I'm happy to leave it to you.
I'll come with you to have a look. One always has to keep on top of what the youth of today are into.
Madame Farazan? Come quick! She's over here!
Who are you?
We're new in the academia. We saw all the amazing things you did during the competition. Do you have any classes we could sign up for?
Of course I do.
That's great! We can't wait.
I'm from Haravatat.
Huh? But you seem like an expert in machines. Wait, sorry. I remember now. You were representing the Haravatat Darshan in the championship. Oh, their classes are so boring, though.
I knew it. What about you? Aren't you going to leave with your friend?
I think you're amazing, Madame Farazan. I can take the class you're teaching as an option, even...
I see.
Thank you so much.
ये skip करते हैं जल्दी जल्दी.
I don't quite understand what happened there.
Traveler, Paimon.
Sorry, we can't. We've got a meal with Kaveh. Oh, by the way, have any of you seen Hakai or Layla?
I don't know where Hakai went. We just saw Layla not too long ago, though. But she was hanging out with some other Ratahoa students.
Ratahoa students? They must be the ones who voted for her to enter the competition, right? Oh, she didn't end up winning.
I'm sorry, everyone. I could have done better in the third round.
Oh, stop it. If you're going to beat yourself up after doing as well as you did, how bad does that make up?
I didn't see the whole thing, but you were the only contestant who scored points in both the first 2 rounds, right? And I heard that you actually found the diadem first in round 3. You came so close to winning the competition.
Aw, I just got lucky.
That can't be true. You had some really stiff competition out there. The renowned Tainari from Amorta, even Sino the General Mahamatra was there. You're amazing, all of you. Getting points off them is a huge achievement. The way I see it, people aren't exaggerating one bit with the nicknames they give you. You are a genuine genius.
Aw, thanks a lot. But I really don't think I qualify as a genius. In the second round, for instance, I dozed off and somehow found myself beside the device when I came to.
Ah, come on, don't be so hard on yourself. We've decided we're taking you out to celebrate, and that's final. Let's go. Cheer up, Layla. The rest of today's all about you.
Looks like things are going well for Layla. This is great. We haven't seen Hakai.
मैं काजुहा निकालेंगे यार. अरे थोड़ा मैं बिजी हो गया था, इसलिए आपको तो पेपर अनलॉक करना करवा रहा है. भाई आप करोगे. ओपी कट सीन ब्रो. वो फाइट सीन बहुत तगड़ा था. स्टोरी बहुत लंबा है भाई, लिटरली. टावरेन में आ चुके हैं हम.
Are you sure you have enough to cover this? Don't blow it all at once.
ये है मेरे पास.
Don't worry, I budgeted very carefully, and this is well within my means. Anyway, I've lost count of how many times you've treated me. It's high time I return the favor. Oh, Traveler, Paimon, over here!
आ रहे हैं.
Ooh, look at all this.
I heard that you went to see the other contestants. How's everyone doing?
Farah-san found herself a student, and Layla's classmates are bowled over by how well she did. We couldn't find Hat Guy, though. Who knows where he's gone?
Alhaitham's gone missing in action, too. Huh. The one time I'm actually in a good enough mood to
Alhaitham और head guy कुछ
he disappears without a trace.
आपस में related है लगता है भाई.
That guy. Where the heck could he have gone? I still have questions about that note he left. Well, whatever. He can do what he wants. Now, let's eat.
खाली भुक्कड़ भाई खाली मोटू.
You shocked me a little when you hurled the diadem to the ground. On further reflection, of course, it made sense, but at the time I was expecting at least some amount of deliberation.
Sachin's voice started talking to me inside my head from the moment I picked it up. I could feel his emotions, too. It was a mix of despair and horror swirling around inside my mind. He bombarded me with his ideas relentlessly, like he was trying to brainwash me. Like I was saying at the time, his views are not necessarily completely without value. But if all his research does is lead to misfortune, then we're probably better off without it.
If his forbidden research were to spread in a harmful form and cause people to suffer, the Matra would step in and ban it.
I think you did the right thing. I suppose another way to approach it would have been to claim that you agreed to inherit his research, but give up the research as soon as you've inherited the wealth. But that wouldn't have been your style. I won't comment on his theories or experiments, but I don't believe that he was careless in his choice of candidate. He chose you. That means he knew what he was doing.
Perhaps. I just think that if you accept someone else's things, you should honor their wishes.
That's a good thing. It means that you have integrity.
Thank you, oh my god, thank you. See, you get me, Kale. It's a good thing Alhaitham isn't here right now. He'd be quick to explain why you're wrong.
Seems like you always include him in the conversation, even when he isn't here.
Yep. No dinner with Kaveh is complete without a few words about Alhaitham.
Alhaitham ने बहुत bully किया है लगता है कावे को.
He's here? Where? Why didn't you tell me?
He lives rent-free in each of our hearts.
That was horrifying. It literally sent chills down my spine.
Good thing you didn't say that before we started eating. That would have killed the mood in a heartbeat.
All right, enough about Alhaitham. Tainari, did you achieve what you wanted out of the championship?
I did, in the first round, in fact. Word of mouth proved very effective. I spoke to a handful of people, they told their friends, and so on. Now, a record number of people have signed up to attend the next lecture. Oh, are you free next month? You should...
About what? I don't know the first thing about anything Amorta-related.
Just play to your strengths. For instance, you could talk about the distinguishing features of rainforest architecture. Or ask everyone not to chop down too many trees the next time they're building a house.
Oh, well, that's no problem. Sure, has everyone had enough to eat? I can order more if anyone's still hungry.
I'm full. Thanks. Paimon's super full, too. If only we could eat like this every day.
Yeah, we should do this more often. Work will always be there, but seeing friends is important, too. This is a good restaurant. Let's definitely come here again.
Sounds good. We should pick a few other places as backup options, though.
There are other good places around here, too? Oh, and don't forget to invite us if you go. There's nothing we love more than good food.
Kaveh, do you have plans after this?
I was thinking of maybe going to the academia for some alone time. Nothing set in stone, though. Why do you ask?
Since everyone is free.
Eager to show off your new limited edition card, are you?
Not to show off. This is my way of thanking you for your help. Only my best friend will have the honor of seeing this card's debut play.
All right, sure. I didn't bring my deck with me, though, so I'll need to borrow one.
Actually, Master, I made a new one a few days back.
Don't tell me you've been spending all your study hours playing cards.
Come on, no need to be so stern. They do say that your innate interests are your best teacher, don't they?
It looks like this Inter-Darshan Championship's a wrap. All that stuff with Sachin and the diadem got sorted too. Have you still got anything else on your mind? Oh, right. Yeah, Sachin said that he placed his research materials at somewhere beginning with but Kaveh smashed the diadem of knowledge before he could finish. It might be dangerous if someone finds his old research stash, right? Where do you think it could be? Holy smokes, you're right! He said he spent all the time researching in the desert, didn't he? So it's very possible that Alright then, let's head off to
Didn't expect to run into you here.
Oh, hey, Thumb. What are you doing here? And what are you reading? Are those?
Sachin's notes? Yes. I came across his profile while I was organizing some documents and became interested in his research. If it wasn't for that, I never would have agreed to being a commentator. I had a hunch after seeing the fragment of his mind, and sure enough, I came here and found his research.
Wait! So, are you alright? How do you feel?
I think you may have misunderstood something. The reason Sachin chose that architect to inherit his research was that only he could really empathize with both the calamity and the humanity that these notes seek to convey. Only one who resonates with these sentiments would suffer and begin to think of history as bleak, the present as perplexing, and the future as pessimistic. Empathy is a double-edged sword. Clearly, I am not the same sort of person as Sachin was. Empaths have many friends, and their wide social circle comes with certain societal advantages. But this also makes it hard for them to achieve their goals.
Why is that?
All important things in life involve other people. As such, it's extremely difficult to live a life that causes no harm whatsoever to others. If you really want to achieve your goals, you have to be prepared to make enemies along the way. Not everyone can deal with that reality. And that reality is like the material here. Objective, heavy, negative. But, at the end of the day, for all these experiment results and conclusions, it's just one person's perspective, Sachin's.
So, what are your thoughts now that you've read it?
As a scholar, Sachin was without a doubt a genius. He laid the blame for the darkness in the world squarely on humanity, experimented extensively with reliable results, and drew logical conclusions. In that sense, one might say his views were correct.
So, people are bad?
That is not a question for me to answer. Someone else will arrive shortly. You can ask them instead. All I will say is that the world is not built on correctness alone. Sometimes, being correct means nothing at all. Lofty ideals may provide. By their own choice, the idealist seeks to bring happiness to all while denying themselves the same. Thus, they shall never reach even the borders of truth until they wipe away the ignorance that blinds them. I've never been able to agree with certain philosophies. Even Sachin himself struggled to comprehend the notion of sacrificing oneself for the greater good. But sadly, all viewpoints will find their support. All right then.
Wait, so you came here just to read this stuff? You must—
Get together? Ah, yes, that makes sense. This is a good opportunity for that sort of thing.
Guess what?
Then I'm sure he packed up the leftovers for me. See ya.
And there he goes. Well, it seems like he really wasn't affected by this research. He said that someone else would answer. Traveler, Paimon, you're already here. Nihira! Oh, and that guy. Wait, so you asked him to take part in the championship? Yes, it was me. Are you surprised? That there was something wrong with the diadem from the start? And if so, why didn't you switch it out for another one? Because Sachin's research is not. These are the crystallization of his wisdom. Yes, I was worried that the material might cause some disruption, but I didn't want to wipe away all his hard work searching for the truth. So instead, I had Hat Guy here help me keep an eye on things.
Seriously? I think you can stop calling me that now.
Why? Don't you like it? Well, anyway, if Sachin's chosen successor hadn't been able to handle his research, or if it had brought pain to more people, he would have intervened at a suitable moment.
And after all that, the person Sachin chose turned his nose up at his life's work. Pretty hilarious.
I was also hoping that this could be an opportunity for you to learn how to interact with people normally. But it
Hi,
looks like
Sticker Singh.
that
Hi,
didn't
hi.
work out.
That wasn't necessary.
Nahida, what did you mean by Sachin's research is not...
Sachin. Indian name. Why?
Put it this way instead. Some people only see the mushroom on the shroom boar's back, and they conclude that the shroom boar is others see only the shroom boar's body, and they declare that the shroom boar is a boar. Still others look deeper inside, and determine that the shroom boar... These conclusions are all correct in their own way, but none of them objectively describe the shroom boar. Paimon, kind of... The world is the same way. No one, not even I included, can understand it in its entirety. All of us are somewhere on the path toward truth. Within the confines of our limited knowledge, some may blindly believe in the beauty of this world, and others may focus only on its evils. In truth, the most important thing isn't what state the world is in now, but what people hope it will become. But of course, I don't mean that as a criticism or a call to... Ultimately, my duty as the god of wisdom is to guide every form of wisdom to a place where it can find...
That was a long speech. So what are you actually going to do with these research materials?
Because Kaveh, as the successor of this research, does not wish to see these ideas disseminated, I will seal it up. But even though Sachin's research could be considered negative wisdom, it is still a building block of the truth. If someone wishes to follow in his footsteps in the future, I will not stop them. I also look forward to the day that a member of the Vahumana Darshan can not only comprehend his theories, but also find a way out from the despair as well.
Vahumana doesn't have that. I don't remember signing up to become a scholar. Don't you think I'm...
Oh boy, here we go. You think so? Well, to that, I would say that in Sumeru, even prisoners have a right to an education. I hope that your studies in Vahumana will help you deal with your own fate and learn how best to settle old debts from your past. I will review your final thesis myself. I'm expecting great things from you, Mr. Hat.
एक क्रेट ओपन करते हैं, आखिरी क्रेट एक और। ओ एक नहीं, बहुत सारे, 5 टोकन दिए। ओ 5 हो गए। ओके चलो अभी ओपन करते हैं। नाहिदा को करेंगे, नाहिदा वाले चल रहा था ना। 6 करेंगे, 6 एक बार में। फोर स्टार सॉर्ड। एक और बार। फालतू चीज है। एक और फालतू। अरे 3 स्टार दे रहे हैं बार बार, 3 स्टार। 3 स्टार। ये शॉर्ट पावरफुल है थोड़ा सा वैसे। एक और। नाहिदा नहीं मिल सकती मेरे को इस जन्म में। नाहिदा नहीं मिलेगी यार, नहीं मिलती, बहुत हार्ड है नाहिदा मिलना। वेट नहीं ले सकता, खत्म हो गया है। चलिए ये भी ले लेते हैं ना, 4 ले सकते हैं। इतना सोचना क्यों है। ये भी ओपन कर लेते हैं लगे हाथ। 1 2 और 2 चाहिए ना। 3 4 लिटिल बिट, थोड़ा और मनी आया है हमारे पास। एक और 5। ओ 4 स्टार बुक, नाइस। सो एक और मे बी एक और। ये नाहिदा नहीं मिली, नाहिदा। चलो तो हो गया खत्म आज के लिए। फिर इतना ही रखते हैं गाइस, इसके आगे का हम कंटिन्यू करेंगे नेक्स्ट वीडियो में। ओके, उम्मीद करता हूँ पसंद आया होगा। पसंद आया हो तो लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब वगैरह करना मत। इसी के कंटिन्यूएशन के साथ अगली वीडियो में हम ना करेंगे कंटिन्यू, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, स्टोरी क्वेस्ट करेंगे हम अगली वीडियो में। ऑलराइट देन, सी या, बाय।